Life's hardest truths are often the ones we resist the most, yet they hold the key to our freedom, growth, and genuine happiness. In this video, we'll uncover 5 harsh truths that, once embraced, can transform your perspective and guide you toward a more meaningful life. These aren't sugar-coated lessons, they're raw, real, and powerful. Are you ready to face them and discover the happiness you've been seeking? Stick around, because by the end of this journey, you'll see life through a whole new lens. Hit subscribe and let's dive in.
5 harsh truths you need to accept to live a happy life. Life often hides its deepest lessons under the guise of its toughest challenges. The truths that hurt us the most are often the ones that can free and heal us, ultimately leading us to genuine happiness. But let's be honest, most people would rather sugarcoat their reality than face it head-on. And who can blame them? It's far easier to live with comforting half-truths than to confront the raw, unfiltered version of existence. But what about you? Are you ready to take that bold step? Or do you find yourself quietly discontent, feeling a gnawing sense that life isn't quite what you hoped it would be? Deep down, you know something needs to change. We often bury these feelings of dissatisfaction under layers of distractions, but the truth is, the problem isn't the world around you, it's the way you've been conditioned to think. Happiness doesn't come from avoiding life's tough truths. It comes from embracing them with courage. Let go of the illusions, no frills, no fluff, just raw truths that will set you free if you're brave enough to face them. These truths aren't easy to accept, but if you lean into them, you'll discover that they form the solid foundation for a life that truly matters. The first truth: you are not that important. Take a deep breath and prepare to confront a truth that might make you uncomfortable. You are not the center of the universe. For some, this realization brings relief. For others, it feels like a blow to the ego. We grow up in a society that endlessly fuels our sense of self-importance, encouraging us to believe that we are special, unique, and destined for greatness. But the truth is, most of us are ordinary. And not only is that okay, but it's also liberating. Do you really think your coworker is still obsessing over the small typo in your email? Or that your neighbor is secretly judging you for fumbling with the trash bags on Monday morning? They're not. Most people are far too absorbed in their own lives to stop and scrutinize your mistakes or embarrassing moments. We often believe that all eyes are on us, but the reality is that everyone is preoccupied with their own worries, distractions, and insecurities. This truth doesn't diminish your value. It frees you. When you realize that most people aren't judging you as much as you think, you'll understand that the pressure you feel is largely self-imposed. The coworker you fear is criticizing your presentation. They're likely consumed with anxiety over their own work. The stranger you accidentally bumped into on the street. They forgot about you the moment they walked away. Imagine the relief of letting go of the need to be perfect in the eyes of others. When you stop worrying about pleasing everyone, you'll find that you have more space to focus on the relationships and goals that truly matter. The irony is that the moment you stop trying to be noticed, you begin to live a genuinely meaningful life, not by striving for importance, but by living with purpose, staying true to your values, and focusing on the legacy you truly want to leave behind. 2. Life isn't always fair. If life were fair, the kindest people would never get hurt, hard work would always pay off, and good people would always come out on top. But life doesn't play by your rules. Life operates on its own terms, indifferent to your plans, expectations, or sense of justice. Fairness is a concept we cling to as children. We're taught that good behavior will be rewarded and bad behavior will have consequences. But as we grow older, we discover that life doesn't follow playground rules. Hard-working employees don't always get promoted. The best person in the room isn't immune to suffering. Even the most deserving dreams sometimes go unfulfilled. Think back to a time when you poured your heart into something only to watch someone less qualified or less deserving reap the rewards. It's painful, but it's the truth. Fairness isn't life's currency. What matters more than fairness is adaptability. The sooner you let go of the idea that life owes you fairness, the sooner you can focus on what's within your control. So, what do you do when life treats you unfairly? You adapt, you pivot, you keep moving forward. Not because it's easy, but because dwelling on resentment changes nothing. Picture a chessboard where the pieces seem stacked against you. The odds feel overwhelming, but the best players don't waste time complaining. They strategize, looking for their next move, no matter how small. Imagine a storm ripping through, leaving destruction in its wake. Do you stand there yelling at the sky, or do you start picking up the pieces? Complaining about life's unfairness is like shaking your fist at the clouds. It achieves nothing. Instead, shift your focus. Use setbacks as fuel for growth. Resilience isn't about denying life's injustices. It's about refusing to let them define you. When you stop expecting life to be fair, you free yourself to focus on what you can control. You learn to find joy in the process, not just the outcome. See moments of unfairness as tests of your resilience. When you do, you'll discover that even though life isn't always fair, it can still be profoundly beautiful. 3. Accepting that not everyone will like you. This might sting a little, doesn't it? You try so hard to be kind, to fit in, to be liked, yet no matter what you do, there will always be people who don't vibe with you. And that's perfectly okay. Compatibility isn't universal. It's selective, nuanced, and sometimes entirely inexplicable. Let's be honest with ourselves. How many people do you genuinely, unconditionally like? Probably fewer than you'd imagine. True connection is rare and selective. It's not about you being enough or not enough, but about the intersection of values, personalities, and experiences. Trying to win everyone over isn't just a losing battle, it's a recipe for losing yourself. You end up bending and reshaping yourself to fit someone else's mold, becoming a version of yourself that isn't authentic, all to gain approval from people who may not even matter in the grand scheme of your life. Instead, focus on those who value you for who you truly are. Relationships built on authenticity and mutual respect hold far more worth than 1,000 superficial ones. Think about it this way. You can't please everyone, and you don't have to. Rather than wasting your energy on those who don't see your value, invest in the people who genuinely appreciate and uplift you. Interestingly, a study from the University of Kansas found that long-lasting relationships are often built on shared values and honest communication, rather than efforts to impress or conform. Smile at the absurdity of trying to win over those who don't like you. Let them go without resentment. Instead, direct your energy toward the relationships that matter. The right people, the ones who truly belong in your life, are out there, waiting to embrace your authentic self. And when you find them, you'll realize that living authentically and staying true to your values is the only path to meaningful and lasting connections. 4. Change is inevitable. Change doesn't knock politely on your door. It storms in uninvited, turning your world upside down. Yet instead of embracing it, most of us resist, clinging to familiarity as if it were our ultimate safe haven. We fear the unknown, convincing ourselves that stability is the ultimate goal. But here's the paradox. The only constant in life is change. Seasons shift, people grow, circumstances evolve. Nothing stays the same for long. Resisting change doesn't stop it from happening. It only exhausts you and makes the process more painful. Imagine trying to hold back a raging flood with your bare hands. How effective would that be? Now, picture riding the current, letting it carry you to new, unexplored shores. When embraced, change can become one of life's greatest teachers. Change forces growth in ways you'd never choose for yourself. It pushes you beyond your comfort zone, demanding that you adapt, evolve, and discover strengths you didn't know you had. Think of a butterfly struggling to break free from its chrysalis. Without that struggle, its wings wouldn't develop the strength to fly. Similarly, change can be uncomfortable and intimidating, but it's also transformative. Research from Harvard University reveals that people who embrace change experience greater life satisfaction and develop remarkable resilience. This highlights that change isn't merely a challenge. It's an opportunity to reshape yourself into a stronger, better version of who you are. Instead of fearing it, ask yourself, what can this teach me? Who can I become on the other side of this? You weren't designed to remain static. You were built to evolve, to break through barriers and to discover a more powerful version of yourself. So instead of running from change, face it. Allow it to guide you to heights you never thought possible. Change doesn't destroy you. It gives you wings to soar further than you ever imagined. 5. Happiness is a choice. Let's clear up a common misconception. Happiness isn't something that just happens to you. It's not a lottery ticket, a lucky break, or a gift handed to you by fate. Happiness is a decision you make every single day, regardless of your circumstances. This doesn't mean ignoring your challenges or pretending everything is fine. It means choosing to seek joy even in difficult times. It means focusing on what you have instead of lamenting what you lack. It means viewing life's imperfections not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow. Imagine two people standing in the rain. One curses the sky, frustrated by the inconvenience. The other looks up in awe, marveling at the beauty of the storm. Same rain, different perspective. Happiness works the same way. It's not about what happens to you, it's about how you choose to see it. This choice isn't always easy. It requires practice, discipline, and the courage to find the silver lining, even when it feels almost impossible to see. However, the more you make this choice, the more it becomes a habit. Over time, it reshapes how you experience the world. Research from the Mayo Clinic supports this, showing that people who cultivate gratitude and optimism report higher levels of well-being, regardless of external circumstances. Choosing happiness doesn't mean life will be perfect, far from it. But it does mean you'll stop waiting for everything to align perfectly and start appreciating the beauty in imperfection. Isn't that where life's true magic lies? Happiness isn't something life delivers on a silver platter. It's something you create by facing its harsh truths head-on. These truths can be uncomfortable, even painful, but they also set you free. They strip away illusions that hold you back and pave the way for a life filled with clarity, purpose, and joy. Are you ready to embrace them? As always, the choice is yours. If you've made it to the end of this video, I want you to be proud of yourself. Leave a comment below saying, "I remember it," so I know who the true champions are who completed this journey. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any meaningful content in the future. Together, we're not just learning, but inspiring each other to live a life of greater purpose. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.